Did not. Are you interested in understanding GLP-1 medications like Ozempic, Wegovy, or Mounjaro? Then join us on The Plus Sides, Cracking the Obesity Code, the groundbreaking podcast helping people change their lives one episode at a time. The Plus Sides podcast is a disruptor. We're breaking down barriers, smashing stereotypes, and sharing inspiring stories that'll leave you feeling informed and empowered. Join us every week to learn from doctors who are specialists around GLP-1 medications like Ozempic, Wegovy, or Mounjaro. They'll provide you with science and facts to validate these incredible stories. But that's not all. We'll also bring you the voices of the GLP-1 Mounjaro TikTok community, real people who face the challenges of obesity, related diseases and disorders, and discovered the incredible plus sides of GLP-1 medications. Our episodes are filled with heartwarming stories, laughter, and moments of triumph. You'll connect with our amazing community members who are reclaiming their health and experiencing their fullest lives. Are you ready to embark on a journey of discovery and empowerment? Tune in to The Plus Sides, Cracking the Obesity Code, and together we'll change the narrative around obesity and end the stigma. Subscribe now on YouTube or your favorite podcast platform and join our incredible community. Let's celebrate the plus sides of life together, because every story deserves to be heard. Every life deserves to shine, and everyone deserves access to expert knowledge and medication. The Plus Sides Podcast. You're not alone. It's not your fault.
I'm Dave Knapp, man on the Mounjaro. That's why I'm here.
Big news for semaglutide. I'm the most elusive of all the doses.
So I have a couple theories, and I'm interested to hear yours. The first, who likes my Karnak hat?
Jokes about Tirzepatide.
You are on the pen.
Hey guys, did you know? I know everybody's so excited. Like, I see it in the chat. I know you've probably all seen TikTok, but if you haven't, good news. We just heard that the indication for weight management or chronic weight management has been approved by the FDA for Mounjaro, which is now called Zepbound. What are we even pronouncing it like these days? I don't even know, but it's very exciting. Everybody's so stoked about it. And as we all said in speculating that they were going to rebrand. Of course they were, but the price point is solid. I think, it's awful, very expensive, obviously, for any of us, but in terms of it being like more like what I thought they were going to do with Wegovy is not the case. And they have a really nice coupon, and we'll talk more about that. We'll go into it a little deeper with T, because we got JT doing the T. But wanted you guys all to know before we got started that this episode is very, very special. It is a day of celebration, and we are stoked. So we're going to move on and enjoy our community guests and all of our time together. And we're so excited to have you here. It is definitely a really big step forward, guys, getting this approved. And we're just going to continue to work harder to get, more access to this medication, more affordable access to this medication. And thank you guys for all being here and talking about Zepbound with us and about all these medications and how they're changing lives. And we love you to bits. And without further ado, I'd want to make sure that before we get started, we thank all of our members and, of course, thank our volunteers. Here we go. Hey. Hi. Should we do our pros and area codes? I feel like we should.
Absolutely. Do it.
Right.
Anything for my favorite lady. Well, I gotta go. They just let me know that I could pick up my Mercedes. I got might just be on in different area codes. You know what's up. Everywhere I go, every time I pop out, I call and they drop the low.
Hey.
Hey.
I just realized I don't have my phone with me. I don't know where it is. In my butt? No. Pocket. Pocket. Hello. That's all right. I'll be fine.
Okay, fingers. Janine's fingers.
Hey, everybody. You excited?
Yes. Oh my gosh. I felt like I was having a mini stroke when I saw the thing. When I saw it's been approved. I thought I was having
Actually,
And
Friday sent it to me, and I was like, I'm gonna have a heart attack. Like I was like, not today. It would have been if it was yesterday, we'd have been screwed. I would not have been able to power through, but today I can. So I'm excited.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
Yes.
So
Zebound.
Zepbound.
Zebo.
Zepbound.
Zepbound. Yeah.
Zepbound.
The pen looks
Zebo.
weird to me. Like their logo on the pen, it looks so weird. It throws me off.
Yeah, a little bit.
Yeah.
I was thinking like before we got started, we could talk about kind of what we were thinking when we saw it. And like Lydia and I had a good lead
we
in which you guys. Huh?
Do we have a picture of the pen?
We do. Here, I'll play it again real quick.
It looks the same.
There she is. The pen is the same, but like the logo looks to me, it's like not clicking in my brain, right?
Oh, sure. You're like, what's happening? Yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
Different.
It's like a glitch in the Matrix or something.
Yeah.
So,
Like, that's
still do the trick though. Yeah.
Yeah. Speaking of, we need a Zepbound. Zepbound. Hallelujah. Yeah, that's hallelujah. Zepbound. Yeah, that's what we need. We need one of those. So we can evangelize. If you like the MJ one though, or Ozempic one, you can get them. And there is a link on our posts and in like all the show notes, I think we do, where you can get one. $10 off.
I think she's doing them for Compound too.
Oh, that's nice.
Like everybody's included. Everybody's represented. It's so good.
I love that.
Wonderful.
Important. Yes.
Yes.
Love it.
Absolutely.
Love it. So what were you thinking, Kat? Who did you hear it from?
I heard it. I heard it from you, Kim.
From me?
When I'm at work, I am all like
at work.
I look down on my phone. I'm like, oh, let me go check out Dr. I forgot his name, Doctor's Instagram. Like it's really true. Yeah. And then I say to myself, okay, let's see what insurance does.
I honestly thought it was like fake news at first. I'm like, no, this isn't real. This isn't real.
Yeah.
And so
I saw Dr. Spencer. Dr. Spencer posted about it, and I was like, he's like, you know.
That's
and then I was like,
posted on IG, right?
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
And then soon after that, I got trapped in the Jack Harlow TikTok.
Oh, really?
What is that?
I don't want nobody.
I'm vanilla.
I'm vanilla.
So you were just watching everybody's renditions
but I'm not
of that
killer baby
audio?
What I did was I happened to look at Jack Harlow, and then all of a sudden it was all over my feed. Hey, Tay, Tay. And I was like, now I'm trapped. Like my entire feed Jack Harlow.
Yeah.
I'm like, no, I'm an old lady.
I'm sorry. Yeah.
It's a bop, though.
I taught everybody recently how to do not interested, so I will teach you.
Oh, no, I did that too. I mean, I've seen
everybody.
Yeah. People get really mad, like, Kim, stop selling stuff. And you're like, well, here.
I'm like, no. I'm like, my husband's not at work.
Here, push these buttons and stop hearing about what I'm doing.
Like, I Facebook when you hit unfollow or just mute for 30 days. It's just
legitimately. It would be cool. A mute for 30 days would be great, wouldn't it?
That would be great.
I would love that.
That would be fabulous.
Yeah, I would love to mute some people. I'm not gonna lie.
No, they need that feature. Like, I think they have that feature on Facebook actually, where you can just like
they do.
They do
for 30 days.
They do.
I leverage that. I do. I like that feature. Yeah.
They do have it. Yep.
I wish we had it on TikTok.
Same.
Yeah. But yeah, so it's so exciting. What about you, JT? When did you learn? How'd you learn? How that happened? What's going on?
I got about 6 text messages. I literally had just put my phone on the charger. Yeah. And I went to the potty. And all of a sudden, I'm like, the one time I don't take my phone to the bathroom.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
and
I always think of it.
It was just like text message after text message. I literally had just put my phone down. But I had received a text message earlier today from a blocked number. And I said it in my live, and it just said, watch the news.
Oh,
and I was like,
creepy. From a blocked number.
Mm-hmm.
That's creepy.
But I mean, you know, so I was just kind of like,
Sabrina.
Hey, Sabrina. I was just like, something.
Give you a membership.
Something is popping today. Something is popping today. And I purposely had my phone. I mean, like, it was like another extension of my body,
Sure.
which it normally is.
Mhm.
But it really was today. And the one time I go to the bathroom,
Yeah.
I said, well, gosh darn it.
Well, you got it early, you know? So
Yeah.
that's good. Yeah.
Yeah,
Earlier than
yeah.
most. Yeah.
So excited.
12 month cupcake in my arse. Oh no.
12.5
Yeah,
is like the
12.5 is
first
intense.
dose that's tough.
I love it.
That was a little bit tough at first, but now
I
Big
love
Daddy,
it.
Yeah.
Big Daddy,
I love
Big
it.
Daddying.
Yeah.
Like what Sabrina said. What did she say? Like hit me hard with it, Big Daddy.
Oh boy.
Oh.
The dosage. She
The
said
plus
10 hits
size
her.
takes a turn.
I know. Her 10
That's when you
milligram
give
is
it a
Big Daddy. It's her Big
Hey
Daddy.
there, guys and gals.
This just turned into a Christian Grey novel right here.
Yeah.
Hit me with it.
Right.
Big Daddy.
I am
Are we
full of,
talking about a medication? Or are we talking about?
I'm
Yeah,
full
You
of
know
double
Kim
on that
gets
one,
the
guys.
whip out in here. Don't make her get the whip.
True that.
True. But I have nicknamed 15 Big Daddy. So sometimes it's like
Yeah.
the max for you, that's Big Daddy for you.
Yeah.
So Sabrina said 10 is Big Daddy for her.
Really?
Got it.
Yeah.
Really?
Interesting. Everybody's so
Until
different.
it's not. Until it's
Till
not.
Yeah.
Until it's not.
And then you're like, "Oh, it's not working." If I lose
Exactly.
half a more pound, I will be in the 250s, and I have not been in the 250s since I was in high school.
Woo!
Now, I know you guys are all
Yes.
thinking 250s a lot, and everybody's looking for Wonderland and stuff, but like, here's the thing: I'm a large human. Like,
Yeah.
I don't foresee that being a thing for me, and that's cool.
Mm-mm.
You know,
Right.
I
But, like
agree.
250. I mean, like, shoot,
Manhandled.
Manhandle.
manhandled by Big Daddy.
So
That just sounds so.
Will insurance still issue MJ up to Zepbound? I would think so. Yeah. Because if you think about it, they're two different things. Technically, with my insurance right now, and we can go into that speculating. We'll do that. We'll come back to that. Put a
Yeah.
pin in it.
That's like my concern because my insurance did not cover Wegovy or Ozempic, but prior authorization of Mounjaro did. So my concern for 24, and I'm still kind of going around in a loop, is will it still be covered? However,
Yeah.
I have all the tools because we talk about it, and I have them all at my feet.
Yeah.
Right?
That's right.
Yeah.
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 Good times. Good things. Thank you for your membership, Jackson.
Thanks, Jason.
Jackson.
Little
Oh,
Daddy.
I think the logo is straight trash.
Little Daddy.
And that's what I was laughing at. The daggone logo looks like great value. Did you see that?
It's just not
It
good.
does. It's like the Wish version of Mounjaro. It's like Eli just went, all right,
Yeah.
boom.
Boom.
So the Wish version of Mounjaro would probably like
better
Wish version.
give you
It's
a
just
rash.
womp womp.
It's not even Tibu. It's Wish. It's way back in the day. It's Wish with that 99-cent ring you ordered off Wish. That's what it is.
Yeah, it just wasn't good. And here's the thing. I do feel like what was good about Mounjaro, aside from many of the things we talk about, right, is that they really understand packaging. People covet Mounjaro, like they covet it.
I do.
Like it woos them because
do.
it's so sleek and the colors and all the things. Although I will tell you, when I finally got the box after seeing it online, I was like, that's it. That's what all the fuss is about.
But then,
but then you take
when
it.
you open it, but then when you open it,
Then when
It is
you take
shiny.
You're like,
I agree,
okay.
Stephen.
Yeah. Then you take it and I'm like, oh, okay, I get it. Yeah. Okay.
Mhm.
Anyway, it's so exciting. We're so glad to be here. We have community guests. We have all kinds of things to talk about in the news, but it looks like now we don't have to speculate anymore if it's going to get approved. And I really figured it was close when the earnings call came out, right? It was such a good earnings call. I could give a shit about the earnings. They made lots of money, right? But like the things they were talking about that are coming up, and that was cool. And and the things that they're using now, and they talk about like using endocrine therapy to like help treat breast cancer and all of this different stuff. Very exciting. And it was cool. Like at some point when the questionnaire like happened, like somebody said, how are you going to, like, I'm paraphrasing, like, how are you going to get on more formularies? And he was like, it's going to take the voices of the people who deal with the disease of obesity.
Yes.
No doubt.
yes,
It is, right? Like it is. This
said
is
it.
how this works. This is how this works.
How
You know?
all this works.
Yeah. So that's what we have to do, and I think we're getting there and it's happening. So let's just keep getting loud, guys. Let's just keep it up.
Absolutely.
And I
think so.
And you all help us.
Yeah.
Everybody on the live, everybody,
All of us.
every single human being.
Yes.
Every voice behind that screen is helping us.
Yes.
Yes. Yes. And we're being able to, I think, level up the conversation, and you guys are going to see, like, there's going to be controversial things I do to get this movement and attention. And like, I just need you to either just not say anything or come along because I know what it's doing.
We'll
do it
right along, love.
Speak up or get out of the way. That's how that goes.
Honk, honk, beep, beep. It's going to happen. Yep. So yeah, it's good. It's good stuff. It's an exciting day. It is a good day. And like, I was trying to think, and I posted about it, but pretty recently. I was like, what is my sort of take on this? Like, everybody's kind of got their take and their spin. So one girl actually posted, she was like, Justin, Wegovy has been approved. I was like, Wegovy? And then she continued on and started talking, and she meant like Manjaro. And I was like, just go re-record it, friend. Like, it's just like, it's okay. No one, go record it, re-record it.
Yes, go do it again. Just do it again.
I mess up all the time, but this is probably one of those things, just record it, Anyway, but yeah. So
the compound.
Yeah. What about compound?
I agree with Chico's weight journey.
Oh, there's this little like fruit fly.
Okay. I was like, what is going on?
And he's like, my brain. And I'm like, gonna have to kill him. Anyway, I'm excited. I am here. I'm sitting upright. I've been laying down for several days. I've been very sick. I've been in the hospital. I do not have gastroparesis. I don't hear nothing about it. I do not. But I was really like surprised at how many practitioners in emergency care, and even once I was, under observation in the hospital, even those they had no idea what these medications actually do. Like, one of the doctors who I really liked a lot was like, oh, you're on Manjaro? And I was like, mm-hmm. He goes, yeah, my friends keep wanting me to prescribe it for them, but I tell them to F off because it's just going to make them have diarrhea in the shits. And I was like, a doctor in the ER.
And you were like, sir, you just said that to the wrong individual.
Wrong person. But I was so sick. I didn't have time to educate him on his stupidity. So I was just like, well, it is, I don't think I said like it's for obesity or anything. I just didn't have it in me argue, but I just looked at him and I was just like, I can't believe that you are so lazy. This sounds awful, but like that you wouldn't try to learn about literally one of the biggest revelations, right? That we have had in the discoveries that we have had in years for treating a very difficult disease that you likely in emergency care see a lot of, issues for, and it blows my mind. Nobody knew. There was one woman that was taking care of me that was clearly a nurse. And I swear she knew. And I was like, that's it. Like, she just kind of knew what I was talking about. But it was funny because they started listing all my medications. They were like, do you take this? Do you take this? And because I've done step therapy, they listed all the GLP-1s. And I was like, no, I only take Manjaro. It has replaced all of those. They didn't know. None of them had a freaking Manjaro. Wow. How do you not know? And like, I called Rachel about it because I couldn't set up very good. Right. And I called and I was just like calling people, like, and Rachel was like, you have to remember, we're in like this vacuum. Like, we're just all shouting at each other, like in TikTok, but there's so many people that aren't on TikTok or they're not on our side of TikTok. Right. And so all they hear or all that they see is just what crap they see on the news. That's it.
Yeah.
That's all they see. Yeah. So that's why we're expanding, right? We're going on Insta, like we're going on YouTube, we're doing audio. We're going to get all the places that we can to talk about this because it's sad, but we're going to have to educate our doctors and bring them along if we're going the GP route, unfortunately. Like, it's just people like a lot of the, I would say like some of the PAs in our community that we like a lot, they very much, I think, are the exception to the rule. Like, I say that when Gail's on my live all the time, like, you're the exception to the rule, Gail. She's like, yes, like, so it's just how it is. It's how it is. Anyway,
but see,
very
like
exciting.
What we were just talking about, like with the algorithm, that's why like the crossover stuff is so important because the more we cross over into different communities, the more people like we're getting we're getting sort of injected into people's algorithm, right?
Yeah.
And then once you watch 1 and then you watch 5 and then you watch 10 and then that's all you see in your algorithm all the time.
Yeah.
So that's again circling back. That's why it's important for everybody to be loud. Everybody.
Yes. Everybody. And that's the thing is we have plenty of people. Like, it is a movement, and there are lots of roles to make things move.
Yeah.
And it's just a matter of what it is. And in our community, you just commenting and liking and sharing and duetting and stitching, like whatever it is, whatever those roles are, just do it. Just do it. Repost is the thing I don't think people understand. Repost is very powerful. Y'all use it, please. Thank you. Because it's very helpful. Like all of a sudden what you referred, well, someone else will see and then they'll repost and then they'll repost. Repost is a big deal on TikTok. People don't use it enough. Yeah.
Yes.
So we got to do that. Let's keep getting loud, kicking ass and taking names. I think the event that we have in January will be very exciting, and, okay. You want to get started?
I was going to say my sister, when she got her PhD in nursing, she said the majority of her class, the majority of the students did their thesis on GLP-1s. So it is.
Oh, wow. Thank God.
Really?
Jeez.
But nurses,
good one.
Nurses,
No.
Well, I would say nurses
NPs
always know a little bit more than doctors. Like, especially when you're going
in
doctor's appointments and like what Kim was saying with the ER, like the nurse seem more well-versed.
Thank you, Brianne.
Thank you so much, Brianne.
So there's hope. It's coming. Keep sharing.
Yeah.
It's happening. Like, I think there's too much money to be made for these things not to continue to explode and be successful. They're not going to fail. They're not going to fail. And they're way bigger than
stuff.
You know what I'm saying? I think it's going to happen. But again, like if we're not loud, it's so easy to dismiss an emotional bad person. It's so easy in this country and in this society.
I agree, Pony.
Let me just dismiss this person that is clearly, emotional and fat.
Nature. Yeah, we're not going to be dismissed anymore. I get it. Yeah,
no more. No more breadcrumbs.
And standing up, like somebody asked me the other day, well, like sometimes I don't say anything because I don't want people to think that I'm being rude. Like you can stand up and you can say things without being rude, right? So like on big topics like this, one of the things that like I'll play it in my brain. Like if somebody says this to me, what am I going to say? And so like I have it like filed away, right? And somebody says that thing, I'm like, okay, this is my response. Here it is. It's already ready to go. And it's not rude, but it's pointed and they understand what I said, right? And they've learned something. It's been the more you know. It's been an educational moment, right?
Yeah.
So you can do that without being rude to people. It's not hard. You gotta be prepared, but it ain't hard.
Just be a little assertive, that's all. Because what? Because it's hump day. That's for you.
Hump day. Cat, it's hump day. That's right. I feel like we need a little like camel enter.
We do. We need to like trot across.
So much more great things on the horizon as well. Generic Saxenda, exactly. I can't wait. Generic Saxenda will be such a game changer. Even if it's like just Victoza and it goes to 1.8. I feel like just getting people on the train, like just whatever your on ramp is to this highway of like health, just let's get you going. Because honestly, it's a solid, in my opinion, like first step. And if you can get it affordably, let's do it. And then we did discuss, I have partnered recently. Well, I say partnered, but I'm a consultant for a company called Fridays, but it's by Thrive Health. So it's, as you'll see it as Join Fridays on TikTok and on Insta. And I am working with them because I wanted them to understand the voice of the community and the needs and what's actually going on and try to learn from, frankly, some of the mistakes that the other telehealths I feel like made in the beginning. And they're very new, and my background is in startup marketing. And so they have really started, and I'll just tell you guys, like, since you're on the live, they have scaled. Like, so one of the biggest problems you guys hear me talk about a lot on the show and as well as on TikTok, right? It's that we don't have enough specialists, period. Right. So that's one of the first problems is that you go into the ER, to the doctor, whatever, nobody knows shit about anything. Right. And there certainly aren't enough specialists and there certainly aren't enough doctors. So how do we solve for that? So Fridays works with Dr. Holly Laughlin, and she is a speaker for Novo and Eli Lilly, and she's an obesity specialist. She is going to be on our show. And she is a badass. And she specifically created a protocol to be able to distribute that protocol. This is how you treat people with obesity. This is what it looks like. This is how to dose all of those different things, right? And that protocol is then sent out to all these different practitioners, right? So it could be an NP like Gail, or like Bourbon RX, like it could be like that, but it is a protocol to follow by an expert. So they've scaled before they've even started, right? By offering more access, more places. And then on top of that, they're offering very competitive rates on compound. So I want people from safe, accredited compound pharmacies, and we want that, right? So we want safe access and affordable access. So I'm working with them. I'm very, very excited about the relationship. You're going to see them talked about a lot on the show. I think everybody knows me pretty damn well to know that I wouldn't just be doing this for anything or anyone unless I really thought it was going to help our community, because I have a deep love of our community. And I think more care, quality care, affordable care faster is what we need. And I want us to get there quickly. And I feel very comfortable with making sure that you guys all know that are here tonight. That's what's happening. So you'll see more videos come out from me about it. You'll be all over the plus sides, because I want people to have options. There is not enough business. Like there's not enough businesses that can cover the need that we have. 40% of America, for God's sakes. And like, we're lucky. The ones that are able to actually have insurance and that can get access to an obesity specialist, we're lucky, but other people aren't. Like, there's so many people that aren't, and it shouldn't be about luck. It shouldn't be about money for you to be able to get quality freaking care. So we're going to try to change that. I'm going to continue to, you guys always know I'm going to bring you resources, and I just want to make sure that you're aware that that's things that are coming. It's okay.
Yay.
It's all good stuff.
Yay.
It's all real good stuff.
All good. All right. So we have a community guest. So that's what's coming up next. Am I going to bumper it, or are you going to bumper it?
I got you, girl. I got you.
Hey.
Welcome. Hello.
Hey there.
We're so glad to have you. How can we get somebody's name anymore? Is there just too many of us or something?
It's the comments. When the comments go away, the names
will
come
okay.
back up.
Okay, that's cool. Yes, Zepbound Day.
So
that's right. Happy Zepbound Day.
I said in somebody's live earlier, I feel like this day is like, I feel better than I do on my birthday. Like, because we've all been waiting for it, right? We've all been like, when's it going to happen? When's it going to happen?
But there was no PDUFA date. There was no PDUFA date. It was just, bam, here it is.
It was just like, here you go.
All strategy. They did it on purpose. And on a Wednesday in the middle of the day of the week.
Yeah. So
everything they do is on purpose. And it's
there was a video. Somebody, I don't know all the background about it, but there was a video. This gal does like numerology and stuff. And she said 11/8 is like something about like bountiful money or something like that. That's today.
That sounds very purposeful. Shocking. Eli Lilly, master marketing. No. That's right. Oh, speaking of water, my other one, this one's dirty, but isn't it cute? $10 off, and it goes towards Health Plus Size. Yay.
I just want someone else to join me in the plus size water bottle.
It
goes great on my bike when I spin.
I think I'm going to get a plus size sticker and just put it on my Stanley.
Yeah, you can. I don't
That's
really like
amazing.
Mine's purple. It matches.
I'm gonna put the plus size sticker on this.
I like the plus size. Yeah, you do. You match, Leigh Anne. So, friends, our members probably know Leigh Anne and I met in Tennessee, and we did her community story, and it did not video recorded, only audio recorded. So we did post her audio, but I just don't feel good about it. So I was like, hey, you want to come on one of the lives? And she's like, word. So she's here, and she's here to tell her community story, unfiltered, uncut, and uninterrupted. Cat and me. What?
Don't worry, Leigh Anne. I'm partially in the driver's seat, Leigh Anne. I'm like a backseat driver, so I'll mute them if they keep interrupting. Don't worry.
Oh no,
and then we'll crack the whip, and I'm
going to
mute
myself.
I have to whip myself though. Stop it!
Yeah, I raised
I'm muting.
I'm totally used to it.
Okay. All right. So go ahead and take the space. We're so glad to have you here.
Thank you. I'm glad to be here. So, my journey with Mounjaro, I'm on Mounjaro. I had not heard of it, but it started. I went to the doctor, and like I've had high blood pressure. I've had all kinds of health issues for years. I mean, I guess they probably started in my 30s, my early 30s. But I went to the doctor for a physical, and they said I was pre-diabetic, and that scared the crap out of me. And so I was like, what can we do about this? Like, is there something that we can do to keep this from, progressing into diabetes? And she told me about Mounjaro, and she asked me if I was opposed to taking shots. And I was like, well, it's not really my favorite thing, but if it's going to help, if it's going to prevent this from getting worse, I'm in. So she started me on Mounjaro, and that's when I started digging, and I found TikTok. I was on TikTok, but I found this whole community on TikTok, and that's when I realized, wow, this is something bigger than just for prediabetes and all that. And that's when I realized, you know, the weight loss aspect of it and just all the different health benefits. So that's how that started. But I have battled my weight my whole life, pretty much my whole adult life, I will say. It got really bad after I had my first child. And then the subsequent pregnancies, I just kept packing on the weight. And then when I hit 30, it was like my metabolism just hit a wall, where before I could lose 10 to 15 pounds relatively easy. I never really got beyond losing 10 or 15 pounds at a time. But once I hit 30, it was like my metabolism hit a wall and I just couldn't lose. I'd lose 5, I'd gain 7. And it was just a roller coaster. But I had a lot of comorbidities. I had high blood pressure when I turned 30. I started on high blood pressure medicine. And things just got worse from there. I have osteoarthritis. I had high cholesterol. I had PCOS, and I didn't even realize I had PCOS. I was diagnosed with endometriosis when I was like, I don't know, 16, 17. I was very young. I had horrible periods. And at that time, they just thought I had endometriosis. But looking back on things now, and I've had ovarian cysts and all of those things and had them rupture, I'm sure it was PCOS all along. So just a lot of things going on that contributed to me not being able to lose weight.
Yeah.
The PCOS goes undiagnosed a lot. It's very common for it to go undiagnosed because you have all these other problems that like doctors are like, meh, I don't know what happens. I don't know what, you know, and then it goes, and then you realize, oh, well, we took this insulin resistance. Oh, let's try this other thing. Oh, wait, yeah, you have this other thing too. Oh, yeah, by the way, you have PCOS. We should have told you like 10 years ago.
Yeah.
Yeah. And that's pretty much, I mean, I've had problems with ovarian cysts for 20 years.
Sure.
And, you know, I guess, you know, you want to fault the doctors, which maybe they're ignorant of it too, but so many times, and I did not see just one doctor because I moved a lot. So, you know, I was going to different healthcare facilities to have things done. They just act like it's all normal. Like, I mean, like it's not a big deal. Oh, you know, it's just ovarian cysts. We're just going to, you know, unless it causes you some other issues, then, you know, it'll probably just rupture on its own and you'll be fine. Like,
it really hurts when it ruptures.
Yes.
It really, really, it hurts when you have it and it's growing and it's pulsating and the pain. Like, why does anybody give a shit? It sucks. You know?
I know, like that's
but it's
why
just, hey, it's a woman thing. Just
ultrasound.
deal with it. Yeah.
Yes. Like it's all just normal. And of course now I'm going through menopause and it's kind of the same thing, you know. I was premenopausal for many years, and I like at least twice a year I was going to the doctor and having my hormone levels checked because I had so many issues. And they're just like, oh no, you know, you're still in a normal range or whatever. And it's like, but something's wrong with my body. It's easy for doctors to just look at the numbers or look at your history or read a textbook and say, you know, no, you do not fit these parameters. But when it's your body, and that's, I think, you know, that's one of the big things with these medicines, these GLP-1s. Like one of the things I noticed before the weight loss, before anything, was how much better I felt. Like my body just felt better once I started taking it. And that's when I knew, like, this is a game changer. This is going to be life changing. Yeah.
Are you one of those people? Yeah, that's good. Are you one of those people who will be on a maintenance dose, or are you going to try to wean off of it?
I'm hoping to be on a maintenance dose, but I'm fighting my insurance. So, you know, they don't want to pay for anything now because I came off my blood pressure medicine after, you know, of 20 years that I was on, and I have a normal blood pressure. I'm not on high cholesterol medicine anymore. I'm like, I'm off of everything.
Yeah.
Except for Mounjaro.
Yeah.
So,
and that's the whole point, right? Like, I think that's what people keep like forgetting is that it's preventative so that hopefully you don't become a diabetic. Right. But like, I remember we had Lisa on the show and she actually was a 6'5", but when she called the insurance company, they were like, maybe you started taking it a little too soon. We were like, oh, you jerk. Like, what the crap, And it's just awful. People say that kind of stuff all the time, and it's so dismissive. Like, these are serious diseases and illnesses. And like, the ignorance and the lack of sympathy and empathy blows my mind, especially when it comes to lady parts, mysterious lady parts,
Yes.
It's like, yeah. I mean, and I think that we had Dr. Salis Whalen on the show, and she said that it takes on average about 5 years to diagnose somebody with PCOS. The average is about 5 years because it's actually a combination. If you think about it, that's kind of how metabolic disorder is too, right? Like, it's kind of like a whole bunch of things, and it could be a little bit of this, a little bit of that, none of this. Like, and I think that's something that people don't really think about, is that in order to get a diagnosis at all, and even if you got one, there's nothing you could do about it. There was no medicine you could take. They're going to put you on birth control, or they're going to put you on metformin, which we all know are mostly straight trash, but that's what they're doing. Did anybody offer you that when you were going through stuff with like the endometriosis or the PCOS? Anybody ever offer
you?
You
Yeah, I went on different, I don't even know how many birth control pills.
Yeah.
I went on a patch, an estrogen patch.
Yeah.
Yeah, just all the things, and nothing helped.
When you were having issues like, oh, everybody, Leigh Anne and I are friends. We've already done this once, so she knows some can ask her questions.
Yes.
I knew she was done because I know her story. But when you were talking about how kind of like later life, right? You were saying like that was kind of when you started struggling, right? What about anything with food noise? Is that something that you still experienced? And was that when you were in a bigger body, or did you have that going on when you were younger?
I didn't know what food noise was until it went away. Like, I just thought my brain was normal.
Yeah.
Like, and I think that's where a lot of people feel that way. Like, you don't realize how abnormal your brain talk is until it's normal, until it's normalized, until it goes away. And then you're like, holy crap. Yeah. I mean, I battled food noise for, I don't know how long. And I think I honestly, it's been a long time. It may be my whole life.
Yeah.
I just didn't realize how abnormal it was until it went away. And then I've heard people say this before, and then you're like, oh, this is what normal people feel like. And it's true.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, I have a sister that, she is so tiny. She never gains weight. She can eat. I mean, like, she's just so cute and so petite, and she's always been that way. And I actually had twin sisters. One of them has passed, but they were both that way.
Yeah.
And then I have another sister. Her and I we both battled our weight. But with the twins, it was always like, I just envied their ability to make healthy choices or not eat as much, or they'd get dessert and they would just take a bite or two, and they honestly didn't want any more. And with me, it was like an insatiable desire for whatever.
Yeah.
I could never get satisfied. And I can remember as being just even young and envying them, because they could just go, and they just seemed they had such a good relationship with food.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. I totally understand.
I did not.
My sister's like that. And this is a sister thing. I don't know. Like, my sister is like this. So my baby sister and I are the most alike, and we both struggle with weight and food noise and all the things. And then my middle sister has just the most healthy lifestyle, like yoga and, clean and all of these. It's just all these things. And she's always been little and petite and cute, the same thing. And I always have done the same. That's interesting you say that, like, envied that relationship that she has with food and wish that mine could be like that, which, like, now it is, right? But I think that's where it comes into, like, we're just sick people that need medicine. That's all it is,
Mm-hmm.
I can't help but wonder when you're talking about, and like, even with me, with my sisters, like, I feel like society has a very easy time accepting somebody that is little and petite and that can eat whatever they want and not gain weight and not have to exercise, or anything like that. They have such an easy time accepting it, but they won't accept people that are in obese body, right? And think, hey, like, maybe maybe that the exact opposite is also true, that no matter what they do, they're never going to be able to lose more than a certain amount of weight because it's not their fault. But it's so easy. It's so easy for them to go, oh yeah, that person can eat whatever they want. It's so tiny, I also wonder if that is American, like if that's like an American thing or if that's like universal. I need to ask people. I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah.
We need to get some people from
different
I've
had a lot of
I've
had a lot of UK people and Canadian people on my lives lately, which is like, I'm like, we need to get them on the show. That would be so interesting. Yeah. The opposite is true too. Yeah, exactly. The opposite is true too.
Yeah.
Well, I feel like you and I talked a lot, so I want to make sure that you have had time to say everything that you want to say, and we'd love for you to hang with us for the rest of the show if you'd like. It can get kind of long, so if it gets to be too much, you could just tell me. But if there's anything else you feel like you want to say, then feel free to before I just take on. So.
Don't be afraid to advocate for yourself. I just want people to know that, because I put it off for a long time.
Sure.
Because I didn't feel like I deserved it. I felt like, because I always felt like I wasn't sick enough, or I wasn't heavy enough, or I wasn't unhealthy enough to even consider asking my doctors for help. And that's a big thing. And I didn't even ask for help for my weight. I asked because I was scared I was going to be a diabetic.
Yeah.
Don't wait until you're pre-diabetic. I mean, there's so many of these options out there now. Just don't be ashamed of it. Don't feel like you don't deserve it. Ask. The worst you can get told is no. And if that's the case, find another doctor.
Yeah.
Like, don't wait.
Exactly.
Don't wait. Your health is important.
Don't wait. Don't wait. WEIGHT.
Yes. Yes. Don't wait.
Exactly. Don't wait. No, I love it.
Yes.
Yeah. I always ask people, like, what is that one thing you want people to hear? Like if it was someone just like you, that they would say, it sounds like me. I'm going to go talk to my doctor. And I didn't even have to. You already knew. It's awesome. It was awesome.
Yeah.
All right. Well, we're going to move on to other segments in the show. We'd love you to hang out with us. Okay.
Okay.
And thank you for being vulnerable and sharing. We appreciate it. All the voices matter. So everything we can get is great. And you did it twice. It's awesome.
I did.
Yeah, you did. Love it.
Sweet.
Okay. All right. So what we'll do now is we just have a couple segments. I think we should start with tea. Don't you think? I feel like there's a lot of tea. All right. There's some tea for JT. Oh no. What's happening?
No. I'm good.
It's a perfect time for Kat to do a water check.
Yeah. Water check.
There you go, kitty cat. Have some water, girl.
Oh, good Lord.
I'm double fisting. I've got a poppy, and I've got the Stanley with the electrolyte.
Both Sides podcast.
Yeah. but yeah, I mean, happy Zepbound Day. I mean, it's. I think that before the show, we were all well, not before. I mean, we were talking about. I think it's maybe one of those moments where you'll remember what you were doing, where you were when,
when Kennedy was shot. Do you remember when Jaro got there?
We're gonna all be old ladies on our porch going, well, Sonny, see, I advocated real hard on this podcast here, and then all of a sudden, Eli Lilly decided the fat people decided medicine.
We're not going to talk about when Kennedy was shot. We're going to say something else. We're going to talk about maybe when we're going to talk about something else. But yes, similar. But it isn't the war that's won. The battle is won, because now it's about getting this on formularies, and not just getting it on formularies, but getting it covered, and not having so many anti-obesity carve-outs or weight management carve-outs with insurance, which we know.
Right.
Of course, we know Zepbound, but we have to say this. Novo Nordisk did reply to the lawsuit that was filed by, I believe, in federal court in Pennsylvania. They replied saying that the ladies who are suing because of the side effects, Novo Nordisk pretty much said, look, the side effects are on the box. They did. I mean, like, pretty much.
And sue your doctor. Like,
yeah,
I didn't tell you what they were.
I mean, Novo,
thank you for your membership.
Was so gangster about it. Novo was just like, yeah, so everything's on the box and you still continue to take it.
And then next, their high-priced lawyers are going to file a motion to dismiss everything. Because
that's what I would do.
Everything's on the box.
That is exactly what I would do. I would be denying and dismissing.
It's straight trash.
Yeah. So that didn't make too much news, but I saw the article and Novo Nordisk did respond. So I actually thought their response was pretty classic. So on to Zepbound, because almost all of this information is on EliLilly.com under the investors tab. That's where a lot of this information is. But let's start by this. ABC News, ABC like World News Tonight, just said that Eli Lilly said that they expect Zepbound to be available shortly after Thanksgiving.
What?
That's awesome.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's
so
all planned. All planned.
Right. Ding, ding, ding.
That's impressive.
Look, yeah. So they said, Eli Lilly said shortly after Thanksgiving. I know Bourbon RX did say that they were looking around December 11th, December 15th for it to be available. And that I believe that the sales reps are in Texas right now in training meetings for Zepbound. But we have been talking about this for months, and we knew that the wheels were already turning. It's just like I said, when did we say this, Kim? When did we say this, Kat? This summer? We said they've already picked out the sales reps. They already had all of that set. They started training in August.
Yeah.
People said, you're wrong.
We knew it was coming. Yeah.
Okay. Look, okay. So thus why they're prepared for after Thanksgiving.
Yeah.
So even though they said Q4, we knew it was going to be before Q4, because in terms of the business calendar, it didn't make sense to have that come around Christmas,
right?
Because almost everything is shut down. People are on vacations, and the FDA got delayed in the approval. They even had it on the news because they were on track for October, because everything had already been submitted. All of the trials, even the trials had gone so well that they even stopped it early and then they submitted all of the information, all of the results like a month early. So with that being said, here we go. So Tirzepatide, the active ingredient in Mounjaro, is approved for weight management / obesity management. The doses are the same as Mounjaro: 2.5, 5, 7.5, 10, 12.5, and 15. This is what I thought was very interesting. And this is on Eli Lilly's website. They have the maintenance dosing recommendations. So they do have a directive now, which
that's great.
Yes,
that's
which
great.
They have.
We've been asking for that for months.
Have we not? Look, have we not? Right?
That's crazy. What did they say? What's the dose?
Well, so they said the recommended maintenance dosing, and this is what I found really interesting, is 5 milligrams, 10 milligrams, and 15 milligrams.
Really?
None.
Fascinating.
Yeah, none of the 0.5s, which those are the doses that really work for me, are the 0.5s.
Yeah.
The like whole number doses are kind of trash for me.
Yeah.
But everybody's so different. So that is what they're recommending. So of course, Novo
5, 10, and
15.
And 15.
Correct.
5, 10, and 15.
Yeah. 5. Yeah. 5, 10, and 15 are the recommended maintenance doses. The list price is $1,059.87. Yes.
What's the list price for Mounjaro right now?
You know what? Here's the thing. So Mounjaro, this is allegedly $40 more than Mounjaro. $40 more. This is 20% lower than semaglutide, semaglutide.
For Wegovy?
For Wegovy.
Yeah.
And even for Ozempic. That's remember we talked about this. We're like, well, wait a minute. Wegovy and Ozempic are more expensive. So how are they on more formularies?
Time. Yeah.
Yeah.
They got those deals penned real early. That's how.
Well, and then plus that's the one, right? Like, so Novo, right? They had Wegovy, and then they also had Saxenda. So they have they've seen the ropes. They've seen, like, they know how to do it. They know how to get on formularies for obesity management. They know how to do it. Like, that's what
they've been riding
doing.
the train longer.
Yeah. But that's not Eli Lilly's jam. That's not what they've been doing. So yeah. But now they're doing a pretty good job. Yeah.
They built
now
their
they're
own
kind of
train
leveraging.
now, and it's gonna chug along.
It is. Okay, so it is super chugging along, and Eli Lilly is on track to dethrone Novo Nordisk as the obesity drug manufacturer, and I believe they're going to do it.
I think they can. I mean, I think that there will always be, always be Wegovy. There'll always be, and they're wonderful medications. There should be, but I do think if they don't get their shit together with this stuff, if maybe they're never going to be the top dog. I'll tell you that. Not with the way things are going.
No. And especially Novo Nordisk's investors are now like they're getting loud with their questions. I mean, they're pretty much like, what are you all doing? What are you all doing? We know that Victoza is about to go generic. So that is going to change the landscape also. Okay, next, there will be, and it's on EliLilly.com, the savings card, the coupon is not live yet, but it will be the same as the Mounjaro coupon, $25. And Kim actually did a post on that too, where at first we thought, I don't think we'll see $25 again. Eli Lilly said, let's just spin the block again, and we're going to do it again. But this time we'll probably do it a little better than we did with Mounjaro, because look at where we are now. I mean, Mounjaro is like the Cadillac, the Mercedes of medications. Everyone wants Tirzepatide. Everyone wants Mounjaro. So the $25 will be applicable for people that have insurance coverage for Zepbound. And if you do not have insurance coverage, it is a $550 cash pay flat price. So it's not we'll take $500 off. No, it'll be $550 for a 1 month supply of Zepbound. So you'll get 4 injection pens. Eli Lilly is putting together a commercial savings program for those who would benefit, which is the savings card. We'll get more information on that. Of course, people were already on the website, like on Eli Lilly, and it is not live yet. If you have no insurance coverage, the $550 is about 50% less. So they're doing half off. And now they're saying, well, how will this affect Compound? So I think we'll see a lot within the next 2 weeks. I believe we're going to see a lot of changes, especially before Thanksgiving, because if Zepbound is, Eli Lilly is saying it's going to be available shortly after Thanksgiving. People are going to have to respond.
Yeah.
On the highest dose of Zepbound, people lost an average of 48 pounds, which is 15
Wow.
kilograms. Yeah. So they lost an average of 48 pounds. This is the first and only approved treatment activating two incretin hormone receptors, which we know the GLP-1 and GIP. The approval was based on the SURMOUNT-1 and SURMOUNT-2 phase 3 trials. In those trials, 2,539 people with obesity, excessive pounds, and weight-related medical conditions participated. 1 in 3 patients taking Zepbound lost 58 pounds on the highest dose, 25% of their body weight. Many lost a lot more. And we're seeing people on Mounjaro who have lost much more than 25% of their body weight. Participants also in the study had decreased cholesterol, decreased blood pressure, and decreased waist size. Eli Lilly was very, very intentional with, and now they even have this, and I don't remember seeing this on Mounjaro. It's in all caps, it's in bold. On the website, when they talk about right before they get to side effects, it says, and I quote, "Before using Zepbound, ask your doctor to, let me just paraphrase. Before using Zepbound, ask your doctor how to use it, like how to inject it, the approved injection sites, all of that. They have that in all caps and in bold. So that's good. The reps are training in Texas. The dosing, they have on the site that the dosing should begin at the lowest dose at 2.5. Yeah. So they, definitely want that. Another reason for Zepbound, and this just came from someone in the medical field, is that because it got the second indication, because it's rebranded, they can apply for a patent extension instead of when Mounjaro's patent ends, they'll still have the patent for Zepbound, which is almost like Ozempic Wegovy. Yeah. Side effects are detailed on Eli Lilly's website. The manufacturing of this, which we've talked about before, this is the same injection pen as Trulicity, the same injection pen as Mounjaro. However, we do remember from the earnings call that Eli Lilly has asked clinicians, they've asked doctors not to write any new scripts for Trulicity.
Right. Why?
You know what? That I don't know. And
you know what? I have speculation about that.
Speculate.
It's because
everybody to know that Kim told me to click the buttons. Okay. She told me before this all started, Lydia, you click the buttons. And every time it goes away, it's Kim clicking the buttons.
It's me. For sure. I'm sorry.
Oh, right.
Anyway,
cooks in the kitchen.
Speculation. I think it's because they want the pens. Right? Because if it's the same hardware, they don't want to be getting out Trulicity when they know the biggest money maker and they go the biggest demand. You know what I mean?
And the other thing too is remember Trulicity as it is a good medication and it got a lot of people started, but obviously it doesn't have as well a performance as Mounjaro. So eventually they're gonna phase it out, right? Yeah. If it's not the big guy on the block, they want everybody on the big guy on the block, right?
Yeah, of course
they'll phase it out. Yeah. But the pens, that's a good theory. That's a great theory.
Yeah. That actually is a really good theory. And I say it all the time. I know someone who's personally lost 70 pounds on Trulicity in a year. So
I met tons of people who have,
Yeah. So it is a great med, but it's just like you all said, it isn't the king of the hill anymore.
No.
So we're, going to see. So don't forget Mounjaro.com, EliLilly.com, the letters of medical necessity. They have the templates and they kind of, give you pointers on how to write these letters, especially if you're advocating for insurance coverage with your employer. And that is a great resource. Excuse me. If you have insurance, if you have commercial medical insurance, however, your plan does not cover obesity, weight management, medications, Marketplace, the health insurance marketplace has great plans, and you may have to search a little bit, but they have great plans that cover GLP-1 medications. So you can still keep your commercial insurance plan that you have maybe through your employer, and then you can purchase an additional health insurance plan that covers GLP-1s. And some of them have it where they do not require a prior authorization.
Wow.
Interesting. Yes.
So is it like supplemental?
GLP-1.
Like the way they are with Medicare? Or is it like you just have to do plans?
You know what? When I went on last night, it's so funny because I actually went on Marketplace last night just to see. It is a completely separate plan. So they'll ask, do you want vision insurance? Do you want dental insurance? Or do you just want the medical piece? Now, I know for the state of Florida, there's a plan from Blue Cross Blue Shield, and they use, I think, what is it, Prime? Something, I have to check my text messages, where they use Prime, something Prime as the pharmacy benefits manager. That does not require a prior authorization for GLP-1s. Yeah. So.
Well, and it's important to remember too, like now is the time to really like advocate. Like the indication is now out now. Open enrollment is right now. Like start advocating to your employer, to your insurance, to speak up and speak loud. Like it's time. This is what we've been waiting for. So long.
This is it. And I know here on the plus size have been trying to educate and empower people on how to do that. Here's the thing. People were calling their pharmacy benefits managers like today, and it just got the indication today. So it is probably not going to be, they're probably not going to have much information today. So this is the last little bit I'll say. They probably won't have much information today on Zepbound. And I know for example, I'm with Optum RX right now. That's the pharmacy benefits manager that we have. However, starting January 1, we'll have CVS Caremark. I even tried to call CVS Caremark just yesterday. Actually tried to call yesterday just to see. And they're like, we don't have you in the system. We cannot talk to you about anything.
Wow.
I mean, like even the automated system was like, what is your member number? What is your phone number associated? I had nothing. So even though they'll be our pharmacy benefits manager January 1, I cannot talk to them until January 1.
Wow, that's crazy.
Yeah. So I'm, everyone, please try to give your PBMs. And I know we don't give them much grace, but with this, we really need them to do it right. If you have any questions, ask your HR or your benefits manager. Please don't call your PBM. I know people were calling today, on the live, and they're just like, oh, they can't tell us until afterwards, which it makes sense. Which makes sense because if they say, yeah, we do cover this, right? And then people start jumping ship, and then they may not enroll in the plans or, and get another plan. So I get it, but just FYI. Lastly, the doctor's offices. So I text my doctor. You all know that I ask her all the things. And she said that she should have samples by what is it? December 10th or December 11th.
Yeah, so that's another tidbit of like, hey, when's it going to be here? If the doctor's going to have it by that point, she coming.
Yes. And so I text her today, and I said this in my live. As soon as that savings card goes live on EliLilly.com or Zepbound.com, download 2. Thank me later.
Can you do 2? Will they let you do 2?
Yeah.
Yeah.
You can.
I thought it was like attached to your like, social or something.
I'm gonna bail, you guys. My dog's made out, and so.
All right. Bye, Leigh Anne. Thanks for hanging with us.
Thank you.
Bye.
Bye.
Oh.
Yeah.
I love dogs.
Yeah, 2.
Yeah.
I know I love dogs.
Yeah. I didn't know you could do that. I don't know.
Yes. And the only reason I know is because I accidentally did it in January with me being clueless about Mounjaro. I didn't even know there was a savings card. The pharmacist had to tell me. My doctor didn't tell me.
I can't help but
The
wonder,
same thing
like
happened to
people
my
that have
sister.
been on Mounjaro, because us. For those who aren't type 2, and then Zebound comes out, and maybe our insurance makes us like switch to them. What if our BMI, I mean, not for me, but what if our BMI is like a problem, right? Because we've been on their medication.
Right. So
they say keep your numbers, right? Like your blood work numbers. That's what they're saying. Like go with your doctor to get make them handy if there ever is an issue.
Yeah.
Keep your blood work, and that's why it's so. There is someone, I won't say their name, but they are type 2 diabetic for Mounjaro. Their A1C was very elevated, very. They go to get a PA recently, and CVS Caremark told them that their labs from 2021 were too old.
What?
They said that the labs were too old, and that the person's A1C is now not in diabetic range. So the prior authorization was denied. So there is an appeal going on, and there may be a, peer-to-peer, but yeah, they're
What's the old MO? What deny, delay, and
deny. So, but the thing is, it's type 2 diabetes, obesity, they're chronic diseases, they're chronic metabolic disorders. If you stop the treatment, it's going to come back. Yeah. So the person even tried to do continuation of care. They said, no, you're not diabetic anymore. They said that this person's labs,
the World Health Organization says once you're a diabetic, you're always a diabetic. But their PBM says, no, you're not. No, you grew out of that. You grew out of that.
Yeah.
Bye-bye.
Everything's fine now. No.
That's a true story.
Gotta keep fighting.
I heard the coolest thing about all these denials. So somebody said, when you get like these crazy answers like this, go back to your insurance company and say, give me the medical license number of the doctor who made that decision. Tell me who made that medical decision for me.
Whoa.
Tell me. And when they can't give it to you, you can kind of allude that, hey, maybe you know this lawyer that we can get involved. And maybe you can look at my medical record again with a doctor, with somebody that has a medical license. And that blew my mind, because I never thought of that. Right. I never thought, well, they don't, because they are playing doctor without a medical license. Right.
Yeah.
So call them on it. When you get crazy answers like that, call them on it.
When the person told me, and I think I told Kim, and I literally was like, I cannot believe this. They said that the person's labs from 2021 were too old. This person has been on a GLP-1 since 2022. So they've been on the medication, receiving treatment. Right. CVS
my A1C
Caremark
is low because I've been on this medication. This medication's been treating my A1C. That's
CVS Caremark denied it. CVS Caremark said that the labs were too old. Well, this person was like, well, what about once a diabetic, always a diabetic? They denied it. And so now this appeal is going to peer-to-peer.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. You got to at least do peer-to-peer. I bet. Like, I feel like it would all get worked out then. But at the same time, Like, I think we're just going to see more and more of this shit. It's ridiculous.
Yeah. And Shira actually had a really good question. Like, what if your BMI was 33 in March of 2023, right? But now it's 25. Do you qualify for Zepbound? But for Zepbound to qualify, which is very similar to Wegovy, you and really to Mounjaro minus the T2D code, you have to have a BMI of 30 or more, or a BMI of 27 or more with health related comorbidities.
Yeah.
Oh
boy.
So there you go.
I don't know. It's interesting because like we're like all sitting here going, "Wow, it's finally here! It's coming in," and it's like it opens up a whole new can of worms. It's a whole new host of
that was why,
right?
when I got the news, I was like,
yeah. It opens. It's like the can opener is spun. The whole new can is open.
But then again, it's like, okay, so now you have the indication. Insurance plans like mine they have the weight management carve out. So even though it's FDA approved for that, my plan does not cover it. So I would have to get a supplemental plan. So that's why I
by the time you buy a supplemental plan though, if you have a coupon, like it probably costs the same. You could just pay with the coupon. You know what I mean? Like,
well,
instead of paying for all plan you don't really need, you know?
Yeah. Well, yeah, because what you pay for the supplemental plan, but I guess if we do GLP-1 math, so if you pay for the supplemental plan, and let's just say that's $500, right?
Yeah.
Okay. And then you get it for $25. So let's just say that's $525. But if you just purchase it outright, that's $550. So you could technically say $25. The $25 you're saving a month, you could do 25 times 12. GLP-1 math. I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, well, and that's the thing is like, if you could just buy it with cash and it's the same amount of money you would pay for a whole nother plan, I feel like that would be way easier than having to go through and justify and prove your worthiness to take medication for your disease. Like if it was me, I'd just be like, well, if I was going to shell that out, I'll just shell it on my medicine and just keep the plan I've got.
Yeah.
That's me. Yeah. And if I could find a way to stop having to go through insurance, like, because there's coupons and workaround, what I'm doing it.
But Kim, you just hit on something. Working around insurance. Now, when we talk about it, Eli Lilly is really almost taking the insurance plan out the loop. They're like, okay, yeah, you don't have insurance, 50% off. Because that's where they make most of their money is the cash pay.
Yeah. And they probably get it faster.
Exactly.
Yeah, I thought the loop around thing with the coupon cards and all the things. Yeah, I think. I wonder too, like, where do you think this whole multi-dose pen thing is going to come into play? Because they've now shown apparently the pen. And
they
the pen
said the spring though.
Was that what they're going to do in the spring? They're going to it'll rebrand with multi-dose.
Well, remember on the earnings call, they said that they were looking at launching the multi-dose pen in the spring of 2024. Now, and this
for the
is
states,
what
for the US.
Yeah. So because they had said in the previous earnings call that the vials were mainly going to be used overseas. They were not going to be used in the US.
Yeah.
Eli Lilly had always said that. And because we want it new and shiny, you know, but with the multi-dose pens, and this is just me speculating, I believe that they may replace eventually these with the multi-dose pens because they have to get that manufacturing piece up and running. It probably is almost up and running, but I don't think Eli Lilly wants to go through the whole shortage debacles and all that good stuff. Kind of like what, with Novo and the shortages of 2022.
Yeah. I keep praying for the single dose vial. That's what I want. I just want the single dose vial. I feel like that'll if they can do that, because like think about how fast they manufacture insulin. It's quick. It's so stinking quick. And if they could manufacture Mounjaro and Zepbound in these single dose vials and just get it out, there would never be a shortage ever.
And also their like margins would be sick, right?
Yeah,
like,
because they're not paying whoever to put the meds in the pens and make the pen.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
It's and with we already know that the manufacturing facility, the second one in North Carolina, is already up and running. The two that are in Indiana that are going to be north of Indianapolis, those should be up and running pretty soon too. So you have got the output
and they have that European manufacturer for Tirzepatide too.
Correct.
They just signed on, so they're ready. They're ready to go.
They're ready.
Yeah. There we go.
So interesting.
Well, I will say I didn't want to interrupt you, Janine, but I did want to touch on, you mentioned about your employer having like that carve out for weight management. And so again, I just want to say, guys, like it's really, really important. Everybody here watching, advocate with your employer. Obesity coverage is very important. There are 40% of America, needs medications like this. That's a big, big number. Go armed with knowledge, but talk to your HR people, talk to your employer, get obesity coverage included. They can do it, right? But you got to get loud about it. You got to join together and get loud.
Yeah. Correct. And
I really feel like people are going to have to start recruiting other people around them that clearly suffer with obesity. Like, it's going to be a weird conversation, but like,
it's going to be like for example, new millennium of unions. Like I'm in the Mounjaro union.
Or the obesity union. I mean, something like that's what it's going to take. It's going to take a lot of voices. It really is.
Yeah. But isn't that what? So this is what John said. This is what Joe Naglowski, President and Chief Executive Officer of the Obesity Action Coalition, said. Eli Lilly actually has this on their website. Quote, obesity is a chronic disease that can result in serious health complications, including heart disease, stroke, and diabetes. Despite our knowledge of obesity as a treatable chronic disease, people living with obesity still face many challenges in their health and weight management journey. And he said, new treatment options bring hope to the many people with obesity who struggle with this disease and are seeking better options for weight management. Eli Lilly has that on their website. And they've really kind of drawn the line in the sand. And they said that we are going to fight this disease. And I believe them. I mean, my money is on Lilly.
So is the rumor around the campfire still true then that Eli Lilly doesn't cover their own employees to get Mounjaro?
That's what
I had heard. I have two followers that work for Eli Lilly and they do not cover it on their health plan. That's correct.
All right, put your money
where
your
mouth
mouth is, Eli Lilly.
You cannot even opt into a higher tiered plan to have it covered. The most expensively tiered plan that they offer their employees does not cover it.
See, we have ABC News needs to pick up that story.
How about that?
Making this great drug. So why can't your employees have it?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I know.
Crazy.
Yeah.
Like it's your plan. Like what the crap.
And it's your medicine. It's your medication. Your
I'm sure you could probably. Why would you not want your people taking your product? Of course you would.
Right.
Like
because as we know, when people take it and it changes their mind or it changes their life, rather, those people shout it to the rooftops, just like all of us.
Clearly. So we do. Yep.
Yeah.
We're like, how do you not know? I remember when we asked Rosie, or I said, I think it was me. I don't know. It's been a while. But I was like, would you have believed this? That we're all talking about this if you hadn't taken the medicine? And she's like, no. Like, me either. There is something about when you take it and you see what it does that makes you a believer. It's like it's a unifier. You're like, oh my God, this is what normal people feel like. And that is, just like Leigh Anne said, it's like one of the coolest things, And like, I do have hope. Like, I know we can sit here and go new can of worms and we can look at all these things that are possibly going to be obstacles for us. But like at the end of the day, guys, we did just get the approval to treat for another medication that's the best in class right now to treat obesity. We got that approved, and that's such a big deal. You know, like getting me, Jay. I mean, that's like I feel like that we forget like what a big thing is to achieve. And I very much hope that my child and the other children that we know we pass this on to genetically will never have to suffer. Like I've suffered, like I have suffered, you know? And I just would love for that never to be a thing for our children. Like they're able to get on medicine early. They never have to become a type 2 diabetic. They never have to have obesity to the level that we do. Maybe they're able to intervene sooner at the weight loss stage, like at the early weight loss stage. Like I have hope that things are turning. I think it's going to take time, and that's shitty. And we all want our medicine right now. We want everything fixed right now because we're Americans and that's how we do, you know? But I think that we just have to kind of think, okay, like one step at a time. What's next? And put one foot in front of the other. And that's what we're gonna keep talking here and trying to make that happen. But I agree with Myra, diversity, equity, and inclusion. Those people have change on the brain. They know that things need to be different. They are now, Grant, I do think that is what I've learned in the research for the show is that many of those people in those departments are very racially focused. And we know that there's a reason for that. There needs to be a reason. That it's a big problem, you know, but this is a problem too. And not offering an inclusive plan that doesn't cover your disease just because it's inconvenient. Nobody wants to talk about obesity as a disease when all the data shows it is not okay. And that is discrimination. It is exclusion. It's not inclusion. So it's completely against what they're talking about. So I think there's a way to get in there and be like, this isn't okay. I can't help but wonder, and we need to ask Dr. Toomer. What happened when GLP-1s first came around and they were able to get on plans? We know there are a lot of type 2s, right? So we know I'm sure there was a fight, right? Not having them on there. But at some point, most insurance companies started having a GLP-1 on their plan, right? Whether it was Victoza or whatever, Trulicity, whatevs, right? At some point they did. I'm assuming there had to be a kick up. There had to be some fuss made. You know what I mean? And I want to know what that catalyst was. Because if we know what it is, maybe we could use it. You know what I'm saying?
We
like,
could
what
use
was
it
that?
to our benefit. But I'm sorry, Kimber, really quick. And here's the last thing with Zepbound. When I said be prepared for changes, somebody just kind of confirmed it. D. Andrews said Walmart pharmacy called me today to say insurance will not cover Mounjaro at Walmart. Only now covered at CVS, or you have to order it through Optum RX.
Yeah, that's their policy though. Like that's the thing is it's so easy here, guys, to hear this shit on this community. Everything I have learned, especially when I start pulling this crap apart, is it's all based on people's policies. They make these like big sweeping, Caremark's going to be like this. And then I'll talk to like 800 fucking people. And they're like, no, that's not a thing for me. It's just like, we hear that we hear this and it's very much policy based. All of it is. No one's going to change insurance all of a sudden the way they always do it. You know what I mean? Just because of these medications. It is the way of things.
It's like I said before, we're all on the same field. Everybody's playing a different game and we all have a different ball, right? Because everybody's diagnoses are different. Everybody's plans are different.
Yes.
We're all trying to achieve the same goal. So we're all standing on the same field, but it's everything else is different for everybody.
Well, it's just like saying like, no Cigna plans cover this. Well, that's not true, right? Like it's the same thing. Or no PBMs cover this. Not true. It all is going to be some of the policy that your company has decided to go with. You know, if that's how you're getting your insurance.
But it's the company and it's the pharmacies. You all know the debacle that I went through with Kroger. Even as and people and many people believe that type 2s just have it easier. No, as a type 2, I still have to resubmit a prior authorization for Mounjaro for next year. You all know that Kroger contacted my doctor. They called my doctor to verify that I was a type 2.
Yeah. Yeah, I think they've gotten a lot more strict. But I also feel like that kind of has been not successful. Like I think they've tried that, but I don't know. But I feel like they're just losing business. People are just going to other pharmacies. You know what I'm saying? Like all these pharmacies. Think about how many times we heard that shit from people in TikTok. Have you guys heard anything else about that? No, because it's like, and the problem is
everybody
that
just went
where we are. Yeah, They just all right. Thanks for letting me know, TikTok. I won't be going to Kroger.
Deuces.
You know what I mean? Deuces.
Yeah.
All right, no problem. And then Kroger.
But it's like you said earlier, though, everything is so super subjective because and actually this is how I met Jernine. Jernine I responded to that pharmacy tech that made the video about Kroger, and I did like a stitch, and Jernine commented and she says, look, I get it. I understand what you're saying, but I'm a type 2 diabetic and I did have that problem, but then I'm not a type 2 diabetic and I didn't have that problem. So everything's like super subjective for everybody. It all goes back to like, if you know all the rules to the game, if you know your policy, like Kim preaches this all the time in her lives and in her videos. If you know the rules and you know what your plan looks like and you know what all the little subsections talk about and what's covered and what's not and why it's not covered and why it is, you can leverage that and you can play the game, but you got to know all the rules.
Yeah. I mean, like, honestly, for example, since we're with friends, for example, my insurance covers these medications without a PA. But if I want to get Wegovy, I have to get a PA. If I want to get Zebound, right? Zepbound.
Wait, do we need the breaking
news? Hold on. I'm gonna have to get a PA. You know,
we need the breaking news panel one more time so Kim can learn the name. Hold on.
Breaking news. Zepbound. But if I want to get Zepbound, I'm gonna have to do a PA, and it's not gonna be a big deal because my BMI is still obese. But at the same time, well, who knows? Good God, you never know. They're always put these stupid loopholes in the way. But like technically, I could fill both because they're in completely different classes.
Because they're two different.
Technically, I could continue to fill. Because that's what I'm saying. Like, know your policy, figure out the rules. If they got loopholes, that's their problem. You know, but you follow the rules, but optimize your benefits. And don't just go away. Don't just go, oh, it's not covered. You know, Zebound is much better.
No.
Yeah, don't do that. No, we have to fight. That's the only way. Like, it just is. You know, and we're doing a lot of the work for them, but that's how things change. That's how things change. We have to get
absolutely.
That's why I say, even though like she's only in California, but Katie Porter, if you donate to her campaign because
I keep tagging her like in our podcast stuff, like in like all the big stuff. I keep tagging her and stuff. Katie Porter, come on the podcast. Katie Porter.
I send her $10 a month.
Oh, that's awesome.
I love it.
That's so cool. I love her because she is not. If you're I know all of us have seen it, but for those of you guys watching this, if you have never watched Katie Porter bring a PBM or an insurance company to task, go look it up. You're on YouTube right now. When this live ends, go look it up because it is the best. It is the best free entertainment you will ever watch because she is not scared to say,
this entertainment's free. Our entertainment.
She gets her whiteboard, right?
You pay me my time.
She gets her whiteboard and she'll go, okay, this is how it is, and this is how it is, and this is how it is, and you tell me how this works. So how much money did you make off of this? And then they'll hem haul around and they'll try to and she'll go, yep, I'm reclaiming my time. Okay, so let me show you this instead, and then this one. And how much money did you make off this right here? And then they'll say some nonsense, and she'll go, okay, I'm reclaiming my time. This is how much money you made. Yes, we do.
I kind of had this idea in this discussion when we were talking to Dave on Mana Manjaro.
Yeah,
we probably could have enough people in our audiences combined to do something.
We do
politically.
Yes.
And I can't.
We can't even get them to move platforms for God's sakes. They all just.
I need to. And then
that's 10-second videos.
Put an outline together. That's what I'm just saying. We do have the numbers.
We do. Yeah. Legitimately. I've got 30,000 plus people.
Let's all go
that cross platforms. Like that's a ton of people. And then everybody else, because I know there are people that follow Michelle that don't follow me. I know that there are plenty of there's so much overlap. I still have people come into my lives and they've been at this a year and they have no idea who I am or what I'm doing. And I'm like, how are we just meeting? And that's the thing is it's just so crazy. I can't help but wonder if the Manjaro hashtag is going to be should we start tagging Zepbound?
I
I
was
did today.
wondering, how is the algorithm going to treat Mounjaro now? How is Mounjaro going to, and how
what
is it
are the
going to
new
treat
community
Zepbound? Because is it going to treat Zepbound like it treats
right now.
Wegovy?
What are the new banana hashtags?
Right.
What are the
That
new shadow
part.
band hashtags?
Billion more people on Mounjaro. And you know what? The thing is too, is like in terms of like how many people are obese, it's still like a fraction, you know? And that's why when I hear all this shit about how basically the fat people are like bringing the economy to their knees, I'm like, you're an idiot. Like an idiot. It makes no sense. There's not enough people on these medications to do
it.
anything.
You can't do that. Well, then
We
stop
can't
trying to
do
make
it.
us fat.
They're too expensive. They're not accessible. That's straight trash. I can't stand. Oh, well, now Walmart's prices got to go up because the fat people ain't eating as much. Oh, now we got to change snack food because the fat people ain't eating as much. Oh, did you know why is your rent higher? Oh, because the fat people. This horse shit. I'm so sick of it. It's just so easy. It is. It's so easy to blame.
Say it again, Kim.
Everything. It drives me crazy.
Say it, Kim.
Well, that's
say it again, Kim. I just want to hear you say it again.
It's horse shit.
That's tomorrow. That's tomorrow's short right there. Her saying it's
horse shit.
Hell yeah. It's
hell yeah.
I thought about taking the hell yeah sound and putting it on like some sort of Eli Lilly approved thing today for a sound. You know, because I'd be like, it's approved for obesity. Hell yeah, it is.
Hell yeah, it is.
Hell yeah, it is.
I know. It's crazy.
And what was it? That law in New Jersey? Gosh, I need to check on it. They're trying to
trying to make the PBMs use, like what we were talking about earlier, use doctors to make the decisions.
Just make them go away.
And they have to be relevant doctors, relevant in the field of whatever diagnosis you have. So for yes.
New Jersey.
And
I can't Washington.
Washington, it's illegal.
It's happening.
It
is. It should be.
Yeah, it is.
Like that's what kills. It's just because we're fat, guys. Like it has nothing to do with anything else. And that's all that it is. They don't see fat as being sick. What they don't fucking understand, is that the reason we are fat is it's going out today. Is the reason,
fearless leader, you're gonna get us demonetized. Can we stop with the F word, please?
Our lives always get us demonetized.
It's
right. And even freaking YouTube won't let us say fuck or the
Listen, you can say horse shit, but please stop.
Horse shit.
It's the meds, everybody. It
is.
No, I think it's just because I've been sick and been sleeping.
No, I get it.
It's an important day. Yeah. Sabrina looks like a sexy librarian in that picture.
Right?
Oh, you want to watch it?
Water check.
Did you see her picture? She was like, "Oh yeah, sure, we gotta do that." I like your little green one.
Her 10 milligram Big Daddy.
Kim's trying to pilfer my mint green Stanley.
I like that.
I like the mint green.
Oh, that's cute.
I actually got the little thing that covered
boogers things. Yeah.
The straw.
I have some that look like a little Stanley. It's like a little cup.
No.
They're super cute. They're
cute.
When I got my Stanley, she sent me a Stanley looking like thing to hang that smelled good. Did you get one of those? Yeah. It didn't last very long, but it smelled so good. And it was so cute, you know? None of the air fresheners last long enough.
No, they don't.
Amen.
Oh, Lydia, 3 days in a row, 3 Stanleys in. Oh, yeah.
Awesome. So I have a deal. Listen, I offered her like 3 or 4 months ago. I said, because she was terrible about getting her water in.
Yeah.
I said, if you get your water in 3 Stanleys a day for 1 solid week, I'll give you a Stanley, a real one. I'll give you one. You can
3 Stanleys a day.
3 Stanleys a day.
A lot of people drink 3 Stanleys a day.
Yeah.
I drink 2.
I try to.
I can't do more than.
I go through 2 in the morning.
I can't even.
Mm-hmm.
I get 1.5.
That's when I work. When I work out, I go through 2 of these.
Yeah.
In the morning.
Mm-hmm.
But and then 2 in the afternoon.
Need a working pen.
So she's an amazing friend.
Drinking all that, y'all aren't floating.
Girl, you didn't see how many times I drank this thing.
Yeah.
Tonight, you just keep sipping, girl.
Peer pressure.
But she's such a good friend. She's such a good friend because how hard would it be? How hard would it be just to fib and go, yeah, I did it. Yeah, okay, send me my Stanley. And she's such an amazing friend. She's like, nope, I haven't done it yet. I haven't done it. It's been like 3 months. She's not there yet. Ellie killed it in a week. She was like, "Oh,
2 gallons.
That's right, Kilimanjaro. I like that.
Gosh,
2
2 gallons.
So speaking of writing, speaking of writing, I need you all to send me good vibes because I just had myself a little cold, and I need to be healthy enough to do my 100 miles on Sunday.
100 miles.
100 miles.
Oh,
I
on a
have
bicycle?
not done all of this for naught.
Yeah.
And
Is
I
it on
hope
a
I training in
bicycle?
the morning. You what?
You could do it.
I just don't want to be sick, so that's why I stayed home. I stayed home yesterday, and I had the cranky snacks. Yes, I started snacking because I was mad and angry.
So is that the day? Is this weekend? Is the 100 miles?
Sunday,
Or
so
you've been training for it?
Stop worrying you guys with all of my cycling stuff.
We're a little worried. It's been a little weird, but I wanted to be supportive.
What, of my 100 miles? Or like my 3 classes a day? My 3-hour ride?
That part.
Oh, the 3-hour rides?
No, the constant exercising. Like I was like,
I don't constantly.
but you're training. But like when people train, they have to do that, right?
Yeah. I have to get my body used to riding.
Yeah, you do. So, and I know this was a goal for you. So, like, when you're done though, could you come back?
I am back, you dork.
We want training cat back. We want training cat.
It says on the box, don't over exercise.
New cat's a little like training cat is a little too
intense.
Yes.
Training cat is very intense.
It's like Kim with the F words. It's very intense.
I have worn myself out. Yeah. And then when I texted you 2 guys, like, if you ever tell you that I can be a little bit too self-righteous about my exercise, let me know. And they were like,
intense.
We're like, oh, I am. I'm being self-righteous.
Get your training in, Kim. Move your body.
Well, I said 5 minutes. Just 5 minutes.
Yeah.
But you know what? I didn't work out
do that
at all.
Step thing.
I cranky snacked.
People that are like training for marathons and all those different things, they have that's the life, right? When you're prepping for that kind of thing.
That's the mindset.
I was just like, so when I asked you when it was, and I was all excited because I figured that's when maybe you'll be a little less intense when that's over. You'd be like regular intense, but stuff intense.
Cat.
I
think that intense cat is good. We like have to have some balance.
As long as I don't get to be like our friend.
Which friend?
Never mind.
Oh,
why did I even open my mouth?
I don't know. That's what I'm saying.
You're
intense.
What? It's a friend who is who's very intense about things. Yes. So.
Okay.
It is the congestion. It's the congestion.
It's the cold meds.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It would have been funny as hell.
Look, that's what it is. It's the cold meds. It's the cold meds, and all of her holding herself back. It's gone to the wind.
Did you see all this?
Oh my gosh.
Oh, random. Right. So maintenance life.
Yeah, how's it going?
This will be my first injection in 11 days.
Wow, how you feeling?
How do you feel like a couple of days, like a day or 2 after?
I don't know. So this is my first official maintenance injection. Thus, I have on It's My Shot Day tee.
Yeah,
and
cute.
And I, there we go.
Quick plug for our community.
Stay hydrated. Drink all the Stanleys. Stay hydrated, queens and kings. She has kings too.
Just put your chest on the screen, Lydia.
It's my shot.
There you go.
Lydia. Look, Lydia.
Oh, look, I don't want to pull my shirt all the way up and flash anybody. I mean,
showing you with the bed.
Honey, I can't help what God gave me. It's there. It's not.
You can't.
Wait a minute. She plastered those babies
on
that screen, boy. She was like,
that's all for Carolina. Only for Carolina what I do.
Yeah, Carolina. I love it. You don't show those off for nobody else.
That's right. Nobody gets those.
Only Carolina. Only Carolina.
Reverie Boutique on
only
TikTok.
for
Reverie Boutique, everyone. So it's my shot day, and I know Kat is life on the stall. Yeah. I'm maintenance life right now. This is my first maintenance injection, and I can't really gauge it because I tested positive for Dorona last week. So this is the first week after Dorona. Totally.
Yeah. So, with all the meds and the new meds and stuff, it's too hard to know.
Yeah.
I agree.
And people were like looking at me like I had 3 heads. They were like, "You didn't take your injection last week?" I was like, "No."
Yeah, because it's such a habit for all of us,
Well,
you know.
Make
It
sure you
is.
take
Yeah.
notes, because like so many people on maintenance go like trying to figure out how many days to space them out. And somebody,
Yeah.
I'll hear for one person go, "Oh, 14 days was way too much. Oh,
Yeah.
11 days might
I
just be
can
just
feel
right."
it.
You know? Yeah.
I can feel 14 is going to be too much. Like today, I'm not sure if it's because I took the last of the Paxlovid or what, but I'm like, yeah, I can kind of feel like I probably need to do today. Thank you, Myra.
She's down for grassroots. Yes.
Love it.
Alrighty,
Yes.
so thank you. Also, I meant to update you all. Yeah, so today's my injection day, and I can't inject in my thigh anymore. I don't know if anyone else is with me on that because
Oh, no, I can do
don't
all of them.
because I don't have that much fat there anymore.
Oh yeah, I feel like that's gonna be a problem. I got big old legs. My father used to call them thunder thighs. He ain't wrong. They thunder thighs.
She said that he ain't wrong.
Yeah, he ain't wrong. They are. My thighs are intense.
Do they look like ham hocks?
Girl, they look like ham hocks is like parents.
Do they look like some ham hocks? Do they look like a daggone turkey leg? You know,
yeah, boo. Like the
big
fat
ones?
kind, like the kind from the cartoons. Yeah, I got some legs. At least they're long, you know,
Right.
like God gave me a little stuff. At least I got tall. I'm excited about that one.
I like to pull now. I like to pull the flesh up. So I
bet you
oh,
do.
there's And then I swear, there's a 6-pack somewhere in here.
Somewhere. Yeah.
It's
That's okay.
there.
Dr. Angelina will snatch us
Are you
right
in
up
there?
once it's time and find the 6-pack.
But no.
I know, right?
Snatch you.
There's muscle under there, so you know.
Yeah.
Oh, for
So-
those that don't know, because my views have been not doing so good. I don't know. I had things go viral, and then when I do, they suppress all my other things.
Oh, you know
I don't know
what?
why.
This is unrelated, but Kim, I went to your TikTok account once, like I think a week or 2 weeks ago, and I had to refollow you. I was like, oh,
what?
That
That's
is
been
my
happening
friend.
to a lot of people.
TikTok
TikTok
had me
has been
unfollow
like
you.
unfollowing people.
Yeah.
Isn't that
I was
nice?
like,
Crazy.
I had to refollow you.
Well, thanks. I'm so glad you follow me again. I definitely follow you.
I thought I was with some other accounts too. I'm like, wait a minute.
I follow so many people.
How come I don't follow this
It's
person
too much
anymore?
a little. Yeah.
It's
They're very sus. Very sus.
That actually happened to me twice, but you all just know, as you all get closer to maintenance, you all may have to adjust your injection sites. I'm telling you, you're going to have to adjust them because every time
I need life on maintenance from JT and life on a stall from Cat. The Cat's losing again, aren't you?
Yeah, I am.
Yeah.
It's
15.
the muscle.
Awesome.
I say
Yay.
muscle. It's the muscle. My trainer.
muscle. Yeah, for sure.
I like having wings.
Get a thigh tonight. Yeah, sure.
I do too, but
I like having the sag. That means you did something.
Listen. And
No.
also,
When I get to
I like it
bowl
for you.
weight, that doctor is going to
Suckers.
snatch it all up, girl.
Snatch it up.
I need it snatched and cut and whatever.
And on
Get it, all the
maintenance,
things.
once you reach your goal weight, everyone, I don't know what happens. I've seen it. Once you reach your goal weight, I promise you, you're going to keep losing because you don't want to. You're going to keep losing because now I weighed in at 146 pounds today.
Girl.
Wow. I'll say, unless you anger snack like I did yesterday.
You may need more than 11 days, JT.
Well, I love the
or you need to come down in the dose.
Yeah, maybe.
True.
But her A1,
I mean,
that's the thing is
7.5.
her A1C on 12.5 has been good. That's the thing.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
It's always going to be harder for our diabetic friends, I think. Yeah.
It took me to get to 12.5 to get my A1C to 5.4. It took me to 12.5. Yeah. And that's why I kept saying my A1C was like this.
It was fighting.
Be on the stall with me. Okay.
Yeah. It's going to be on the stall with you.
I'm thinking of a picture of like a bathroom stall.
Lydia, did you have a segment you wanted to do? I can't remember.
I did. But
do you want to do it real quick?
Let's
do it real quick. We'll end with your segment. It's fine.
Oh yeah. I'm the finale. Yay!
Yes,
awesome.
you are the finale.
So it's not news related, but well, anyway, we needed something. Okay, so I wanted to talk about NSVs because so many people forget about NSVs, right?
Yeah.
Kim, why are you playing with stuff while I'm talking?
I was just playing. I was just making you bigger. I like the background.
Do that to me. All right. Anyway. All right. So anyway, what I don't want our friends to forget about are NSVs. Sure. So the number one thing is NSVs keep us motivated, right? So as we see like our body changing, that's motivation, right? Oh, I put on this shirt I haven't worn in 5 years. Oh, that feels nice. Oh, I've never worn a large before. Oh, that feels good. It just like keeps us motivated, keeps us going, right? Especially like when the scale's not moving. And NSVs don't have to be your clothes, right? You can measure yourself. A lot of people forget to measure themselves. You don't have to have a fancy tape measure. They have tape measures at Walmart for 50 cents that people use to sew with. Okay. For sure. Go get one of those. Measure yourself, write it down. Look and see what you're doing. Yes. Pay attention to your journey. It's not just about the scale. So many people. So I got inspired by this this afternoon in my live. I had at least 3 or 4 people. I've been on this for so long. I've been on it for this amount of time. My scale's not moving. That's not the only thing the medication's working on. For like our type 2 diabetic friends like Janine, it's working on their A1C. It's fixing their type 2 diabetes, right? Within their body. So pay attention to those things. It's really important, right? And so like the easy ones, obviously, are like your measurements and stuff like that. Your clothes, your watch is fitting better. But also like think about how much better you feel when you move your body, right? Or how much less effort it takes to move your body. Like for me, when I got to a certain weight, I realized that I could walk a lot further and I wasn't winded. Or I could go ride my bike a lot further and I wasn't winded. I felt good. It actually energized me. It made me feel better. It made me feel good. Right. So just don't forget those things. Cause I just feel like it's so easy to like get the blinders on and go, the scale's not moving. It's not moving. It's not moving. What am I doing wrong? I'm doing all the wrong things. How do I fix it?
Diet
and
culture.
That's what people always ask. People always ask, well, am I eating all the wrong things? Am I getting enough calories? Am I not eating enough? Am I eating too many calories? Like, that's probably not what's going on, right? You might have like Kat had that. Kat, you were at the point where you're like working out really, really hard and you're going, I'm stalling. What's happening to me? And it's just your body was correcting itself with the medication. So it's just important to just remember that. My wedding ring is falling off. That's when my husband.
Oh, that's nice.
Yes.
We had to get my husband a brand new ring, and the one he has now is now falling off. So he's already
now.
Awesome.
Yeah,
that's cool. But it's all like sad, but because you did that, but also kind of good. Like I got John a rubber ring because his was falling off. I'm like, here's your rubber ring, and then when you
tried that,
a new ring.
We tried that with Clint, and it didn't. He didn't like the rubber ring. He couldn't do it. No.
Yeah.
He tried.
Yeah.
John he's shrinking. Anyway.
Yeah, John is
shrinking. Yeah.
So, but one of the things I was reading today about NSVs, and I just want everybody this to be the one takeaway is that the non-scale victories are the mental, emotional checkpoints in your brain to go, things are changing, right?
Yeah.
Things are getting better. Is it nice to see that the scale moved? Sure.
Absolutely.
But that mental and emotional check is really what we need to just remember to like stay on the path, stay on the journey. Janine says all the time, it's a marathon. It's not a sprint. These types of emotional and mental checks are what's going to keep you going. It's what's going to keep you moving.
Rhonda, a hotel towel, man, that's goals.
That's awesome.
That's cool. I would love to have that.
She said
I would love to have that. I've never had that happen. I have to use the big ones are huge, but the little ones are too the regular are too small.
They made me think of my husband bought me a bathrobe a couple years ago.
Yeah.
And I could put it together a little bit, but now the thing is like
it
wraps all the way around.
Nice.
Awesome. Yes, it feels so good. It's nice, warm and fuzzy.
Y'all
we can let our signups be NSVs. We could do that.
Yeah.
We already did that question.
The first thing that I did that I was really my very first NSV was when I could shave my legs and I didn't feel tired.
Oh, yeah,
that's great.
When I could shave and I was like, oh, I feel okay. I'm all right.
You're like a shaving ninja.
Yeah, exactly.
Love it.
I can get this done. Yeah, exactly. So anyway, nobody forget about the NSVs. That's my takeaway for today.
I love it. I love NSVs. My NSVs were weird this week because I was at the hospital, but I could wear a blood pressure cuff, a regular blood pressure cuff, like for average humies.
Like you didn't have the bariatric cuff.
When the doctors
and I usually can't. They've usually never been able to take my blood pressure with an electric cuff. So not only was I using the normies, they could also get a blood pressure off me, no problem, with an electric cuff. That's awesome. I can't even think of that ever being a thing. Maybe when I was this size in high school, I don't know. And then also when I put on the gown, I was worried because I saw it, but I was sick, right? So I was like, whatever. And it totally fits perfectly fine. It was a normie gown.
I love you saying
normies. For
I
normies.
got a normie gown.
And I was like, oh, it's a
normie giving you
gown.
a big sheet.
Oh. Yeah, you know.
That's another t-shirt idea. Hashtag I'm a normie. Hashtag
I'm a normie. Normie now.
I'm a normie now.
I'm a normie now.
I love
What about you, JT? You got any NSVs since you'd be shrinking still?
You'd be shrinking. You'd be shrinking.
Look.
Yeah.
She's like,
yeah.
I'm this is a size medium. Well,
okay.
Yeah, shirt.
Whittle.
And my largest swim on me now. And but
JT, we're gonna have to take donations for JT. She's gonna need a new Commander's jersey.
Oh,
yeah, you're right.
Sure. She's like, hell yeah, donations. Hell yeah.
That's right. She used all the donations for Commander's
I didn't feel
jersey.
stuffed into the voting booth
Yeah,
yesterday. That's great.
Oh, that's awesome.
Oh,
Yeah.
yay. You know what?
And I felt like I didn't have to eat everything on my
and while
plate.
we're talking NSVs, a Mount Jarrow commercial comes on.
Of course.
Oh, that's funny.
Got the TV on.
Yeah. Look, YouTube TV, because
my God.
I like have this phone and then I'm looking at the comments. So, I'm trying to respond too.
Same.
Yeah, see? Yeah.
The comments are here. Look at them.
No. Look. No. You got to type them. So, okay. So in NSV. So, I learned on Skin Talk.
There's a Skin Talk?
Yeah, there's a Skin
There's
Talk.
a Jack Harlow
There's
talk.
in every kind of talk. There's a talk for that. There's no more
There's
apps.
Skin Talk. There's makeup talk. They're all there, girl.
I have gone down the Skin Talk rabbit hole. I've gone down it. Last night.
You will, Sabrina. You will.
I had the 2 a.m. wake up, like we normally do, those of us on meds. And I'm starting to use rice water on my skin. Rice water.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, really?
It's good for your hair, too.
Yep. Hair, skin. Listen, it's a whole thing. Okay, so Asia and India, they will get your hair and your skin all the way together.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
All the way
I have a
together.
feeling Myra doesn't know us from TikTok because she's like Skin Talk. Yeah, it's like water talk,
Water
Yeah,
talk.
It's like
or,
water
I
talk,
talk.
prison
Mount
talk.
Jarrow
I keep wanting to find prison talk. I keep
There's
just
berry talk.
Yeah, berry talk.
Listen.
Berry
You know
talk.
how we talked about this a couple weeks ago. We talked about all the TikTok drama, all the GOP TikTok drama. Girl, let me tell you, bariatric TikTok has just as much drama as we do.
For sure.
And
it's a sorority.
It's interesting.
It is so deep.
Listen,
it is
Linda.
so deep that you stick one toe in it and you're in it up to your butt. Okay.
Oh, they're serious over there. I thought that
Berry TikTok. Berry TikTok don't come to play.
No,
Not at all.
But now,
No.
But now, if you
no.
want to be entertained, you can go to Jack Harlow talk.
Oh yeah, baby.
Prison talk is amazing. Tay says.
Prison talk.
I gotta look into it.
With Jack Harlow talk. The dudes that are. Doing the dance. They're
look.
cuties.
Oh, and
I saw one today where the guy would hit his transition was into Rip from Yellowstone. And I gotta say, that's probably been my favorite one so far.
He transitioned into Rip?
Yeah, so he started as himself.
Yeah.
Yes. So he started as himself, and then he basically walked out of frame, and then as it transitioned, he came back into the room as Rip from Yellowstone.
Okay.
Oh.
And my
Gotta
heart
tell
is
you,
that.
Rip is my kind of guy.
Cole
Oh,
Hauser.
me too.
I like him a little.
Hauser. So I like him when he was back to his
Oh,
ginger.
Keith Lee talk is out of control. Atlanta
Lee
TikTok
talk is
is out of
Yellowstone
control.
talk.
I don't know what.
Listen, Keith
Rip
Lee
talk.
came into Atlanta like Thanos, and I loved it. And he wrecked shop, and I was like, honey, you and your wife and your beautiful children and your mama need to come again to Atlanta because he blew up the restaurant scene.
He
What was
did.
that
They
sci-fi
were
movie
not.
he was in?
I haven't even
They
seen
were
it.
not ready. They were
I
not
haven't even
ready.
seen
for Keith
it.
Lee.
But
He
what
hasn't
was
been in my
that-
feed in
What was
forever.
that sci-fi movie
Okay.
he was in 20 years ago? I think it was was it Pitch Black?
Who are you
I
talking
can't
about?
think of it.
Who are you
Cole
talking
Hauser.
about?
Rip, the actor who played.
Oh, she's
Oh,
Look,
God, we're way off
listen.
that now. Babe, we're on prison talk and food talk. And
I'm still on.
No,
that.
but
Like
listen,
Keith Lee
I like
talk
Rip.
now.
I
wait,
like
for
Rip.
those of you guys that don't know it, she's talking. Keith Lee went to all these different restaurants and like
Oh, you're
none of
talking
them
about
were
Keith
ready.
Lee. Oh Lord,
Yes.
have mercy.
Literally, like one
still
restaurant
on
was
Rip.
ready for him and like did the right thing. The rest of them were terrible. The food was bad. The service was bad. They couldn't seat them. They were treating other people like crap. And listen, Keith Lee read them for filth. He called them out.
He did.
Oh,
He
they
did.
were not ready. They
He
were not
did.
ready.
He did.
So if you really want to know the tea, there's
Go
a
out
gal
to
on
eat in
TikTok.
Smyrna, Georgia.
Her handle is Cliff Notes Girl, I think. And she like basically like people tag her in like little drama things like this. And then she like gives you like the 3-minute rundown of like what's happening. She has the best take on the Keith Lee thing. Like,
Yeah.
it's
And
insane.
and there is a guy here that lives in East Atlanta, and I have reposted his video, and I may stitch it. Woo, honey.
Old Lady Dang did get roasted. Absolutely. They sure did.
Old Lady Gang got roasted. Toast on Linux got roasted.
Mm-hmm.
All of them got roasted.
What was the restaurant that they went to where
Far for me to drive.
they said, "Oh, well, we'll see you in a few minutes," and then like they kind of set them aside, and there were all these people waiting, and then all of a sudden they go, "Okay, well, we have you a table," and Keith's like, "Well, what about all these people?"
Toast.
That was Toast. Got it.
Toast. Look. Yeah, and he wrecked them too. But the way he does it is he reads you, and it's almost like when you get cut with a razor, you don't know you're cut yet until like about a minute later. And
you don't know you're bleeding until you go, "Oh wait, I'm bleeding."
Oh my gosh. Keith Lee came into Atlanta like Thanos, and now he is in New York.
Mm-hmm.
Atlanta Keith Lee talk was all over. Yes. Mm-hmm.
Absolutely.
I love it.
Absolutely.
Loved it.
Crazy. It's crazy. TikTok can be a wild place, man. It sure, like in every aspect. It doesn't matter the subject. It can get wild real quick, because people aren't afraid to just speak out, right? I mean, that's how Manjaro and GLP TikTok was born, right? People just started talking about it. People just started speaking out. Hey, I'm getting wronged in this way. I'm getting wronged in this way. I want this, whatever. And it's like that in every other subject, right?
Mm-hmm.
Nobody's afraid to use their voice anymore. It's interesting. It's so very interesting to me. It's a whole new era.
That right there was my NSV, was like Keith Lee talk.
I love it. Well, ladies, I think it's time probably to wrap up. Kat's probably got to take her cold meds again.
Yeah.
And the nighttime cold medicine, once I take that, I'm gone.
Yeah, I hear you. I hear you. Well, I hope everybody has a great night. It's been great hanging out with you guys.
It has. Thank you all.
Wednesdays are my favorite. Thank you guys so much for being here with us. Thanks for hanging with us. Everybody, make sure you put your prayer hands together for Kim so she continues to feel better, and for Kat too.
And for Kat.
Kat, I'm going to send you something, by the way, for your cold.
Elderberry and vitamin D. Thank you, Sherry.
Oh, yeah.
Good
point. For sure. All right, guys. See everybody.
Bye.
Good night. Members. Bye.
Good night.
Thank you.
Good night, everybody.